different.
Yeah, you already know what it is. Pure money, baby. I keep a couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. Said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. I said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Come and hang with the gang. Get some free game added to your mainframe. Gotta keep your mind sharp, we gotta maintain. And it's even better when the squad on the same thing. Steady swishing on the competition. We ain't tripping about the opposition. We on a mission and we got a vision. People in need, we believe we got a lot. I give a couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. Said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. Said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure. I like my money. Been slept on, money never stepped on. We increasing positivity until the stress gone. Satan tried to hold the squad back, but we kept on. We ain't making this up, no Revlon. I ain't trying to make you blush, but this a highlight. We send the high vibes, homie, this a high life. We rising far above the game, that's a flyby. But we still connected to the source, that's that Wi-Fi. Reception, now we answer the call. This squad taking questions and we answer them all. We don't wanna see you fall, we wanna see you ball. We all gon' eat with the peeps, we gon' feed them all. Couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. I said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. I said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure.
What's happening, good people?
Secure. Yeah, I like my
What's
money pure.
going
I like my
on?
money pure. I like
I
my
believe
money
we
pure.
are streaming everywhere. Shout outs to each and every one of you guys. I appreciate y'all for tuning in today. You are here with yet another episode of Dollars to Cents, the podcast where we help you to discover smart financial strategies with the Dollars to Cents podcast so we can unravel how dollars make sense so you're no longer using your emotions to make decisions so you don't get taken advantage of by these scammers out here. So make sure that you guys are hitting that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button if you're here watching us on YouTube. But today we're going to be talking about building wealth through property. And there's going to be a reason why I say it through property and not through your home. It's all going to mean the same thing to me, but we're going to be focusing on that word property today. So make sure that you guys are ready for this. I'm excited to teach you guys this information here today. Is my property has been one of the key components to helping build my wealth. And hopefully I can explain that to each and every one of you guys today here. But before we get rolling, again, you know, we do a little housekeeping as well as we do our networking. So make sure that you guys are dropping down in the chat where it is that you are tuning in from and what it is that you do. You never know who is watching the replay or sitting right here on live that you guys could potentially team up with, do some great business with. So always take this as an opportunity to network. I see on Instagram over here, we are streaming live on Instagram. Hopefully the sound and everything is working out today. But we got Armor of God Logistics LLC out of the 305. Shout outs to you. We got Florida is in the house. What's going on? Appreciate you for being here. Michigan is in the house as well. Appreciate you here. Derek is in the house. What's going on with you, Derek? Taking perfect notes. Take perfect action. That's the key right there. You got to be willing to take the action. The action is what's going to set you free, my people. You got to be willing to take the action behind this stuff. So once again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in with us today. I'm going to do a quick rundown of what we got going on here. Once again, we're going to be talking about building wealth through property here. My goal is to get you out of here by 8 p.m. We're going to try to get that out here in an hour. But before we roll, we got to do this housekeeping here. If you guys at any time want to join the live segment to ask a question that you don't want to type out, you can scan that QR code right there. That'll bring you here to the live show. You don't have to get on video if you don't want, but you can utilize your voice instead of typing that out. Or you could visit officialtravisdavis.com, and that will also take you to that link as well. But once again, you can put your question in the chat, and we'll be able to answer those throughout the night here. So make sure you don't hold back on that question. There is no dumb question to me, all right? Now, next Tuesday, guys, next Tuesday at 7 p.m. here on the Dollars to Cents podcast, we will be talking about your financial health, building a strong money mindset. Now, I know we have been giving you guys strategies on different things like budgeting, talking about building wealth through property and cryptocurrency on our Dollars to Cents podcast. So now it's time to get back to that mindset, because as I've always stated, if the mind ain't right, we ain't going to get to where we want to be. So, I was reading the message right there. We ain't going to get to where we want to be if our mind ain't telling us that. So something else that I've been telling you guys to do, make sure that you guys are putting in the chat, I am a millionaire. Don't put billionaire. Okay. I don't know no billionaires. When I say no, I can go on TV and look up some billionaires, but I personally don't know no billionaires, but I know a whole lot of millionaires. Okay. And we can achieve that. That is achievable. Each and every one of us can do it. So if you're watching now, or if you're watching on replay, make sure that you do put in that chat, I am a millionaire, because you are. Okay. You got to believe it first, and then we're going to take the actions that's going to get us our millions. So go ahead and throw that down there in the chat. But next Tuesday, we will be diving into that financial health on the mental side. Now, Wednesday, tomorrow, that is completely wrong. I don't know why that one is up there. I got to see what are we talking about tomorrow here? That ain't right. Let me see. What are we talking about here tomorrow? I got to find it, which I can't find. All right, tomorrow we'll actually be talking about small business tips. So let me actually change that right now. We're going to be talking about our small business tips right here for subcontracting. Okay, effective tips for you to be a subcontractor in government contracting. That's always a key component here. I think to everybody, when you start out with government contracting, you should be having the mindset of being a subcontractor to this thing, because a lot of you guys just don't have the resources. And the government's aware of that. That's why they've created joint venture programs and mentor protege programs and subcontract agreements, because they're aware that you should be partnering with people to get to where you want to be. So this coming Wednesday, tomorrow, we're going to be going over those tips for effective subcontracting. That's at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss out on that one. So make sure you're hitting that like button, that subscribe button, and share this out with 3 other business owners so they do not miss out on these subcontracting tips that we're going to be talking about tomorrow. And next Thursday, or this Thursday, should I say, I see that one is still showing high converting funnels, but we're not going to be talking about that Thursday. Actually, what we'll be talking about is this: effective marketing campaigns inside of small business money flow. So if you guys don't know about doing SMS campaigns, which is text message campaigns, or email campaigns, okay, we're going to be going over that and how you could utilize the one tool that we got, SB Money Flow, to help you get to where you need to go. That will be this coming Thursday. You guys do not want to miss out on that. So that is the housekeeping. As far as our lineup for this week that's coming up. Don't forget, if you guys would like to join our 30-day challenge, this is going to be our 30-day GovCon Business Blueprint Challenge that starting January the 2nd. For 30 days, we're going to be diving in and helping you build a business. I want to make sure I harp on that. We're going to be helping you build the systems behind your business. So now you could be the perfect government contracting consultant. And now that enables you to open up your mind and do so many amazing things. And we're going to help you generate revenue from B2B, which is business to business, B2G, business to government, and B2C, business to consumer, all inside of one platform. So January 2nd, you guys may want to hop on that. We only have a limited amount of slots, so don't wait too long. sbgovconlive.com. Get yourself registered for that. If you've taken my 7-day government contracting challenge or my 14-day government contracting challenge, this ain't going to be nothing like it, okay? Because we're going to be building out a tool. I ain't never had a tool to build out. We got it now here with Pure Money. So if you really want to build out those processes for your business, you do not want to miss this challenge. Once again, that's sbgovconlive.com. Get yourself registered. And once you get yourself registered, guys, Christmas is coming up. You're going to be around all of your loved ones. You actually can earn $100 every time that you sign somebody else up to the challenge, because everything we do over here at Pure Money, we want to give you the opportunity to sell it and generate yourself some revenue. We often call it affiliate marketing. So you're going to be able to get $100 every time you sign somebody up. So that means you sign 3 people up, you actually take this program for free. You sign 10 people up, you putting a couple $1,000s back in your pocket. So go ahead, get yourself registered, sbgovconlive.com. All right, now that we got that out of the way, if you have yet to follow me on YouTube or subscribe to the channel, you can scan that QR code. Guys, I got tons of training on my YouTube. The Dollars to Cents podcast is here. Every Wednesday, we're talking government contracting, and every Thursday, we're talking about utilizing our tool, Small Business Money Flow. All of the videos are saved right here on YouTube. I do not know how long I will keep them up there, so don't beat me up if you see them disappear one day. I'm telling you guys, take advantage of the information while it's sitting right here for free. So scan that QR code. Follow us here on YouTube, and don't forget, we are live Tuesday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you guys want to learn a little bit about who I am, all my craziness, before you make the decision that you want to join anything that we got going on, because I don't sell anybody anything. I would rather you take your time. I want your gut, okay, to believe that you want to ride out with what we got. So come learn about who I am. In my Instagram stories, I'm telling you guys exactly who I am. And I've had a challenging start to my week this week. My whole damn my whole roof is gone. I got solar panels put up on my roof. And I'm actually going to go more into that story tomorrow when we talk government contracting. Because I need to show you that scenario that happened with my roof and how the same thing could happen to you when it comes to government contracting, because it's just all business. But if you guys want to see that and the struggles that I'm going through right now, we're talking about over $30,000 in damage to my roof because of solar panels. Man, that has been a challenge that I'm going right there. But I'm keeping you guys updated in my stories like I always do in my Instagram. I teach stuff in my stories, but my purpose is for you guys to learn about who I am so you can make that decision. I see we got Derek in the building. What's going on, man? Shout outs to Derek. We got a couple of guys, inmates, who are getting ready to come home soon. And they are learning this government contracting and business information with no excuses. That's what I love about it. They have no excuses. They're hitting me up when they can. I made a whole video for them, but I'm just excited to see how they're pulling in all of this information, and they're ready to come back home and be model citizens and generate a whole lot of this revenue. That's what I'm talking about. Shout outs to you guys. All right. But before I keep rolling, I know it's some of you guys here may be new and may not know who I am. I came up this weekend with a very easy line for you guys to know what I'm about and what it is that I'm doing here. But I'm Dr. Travis Davis, and what I just like to explain is that, I am your small business and GovCon wingman. And my goal is to streamline complex processes with one tech-driven solution. That my number one problem when I was getting business, we had all types of software and strategies all over the place. Everybody's telling me what to do. But when you hear a bunch of voices in a bunch of different directions, it's extremely hard to move forward. So we've been able to dummy all of that stuff down, give you guys one software, one strategy where you don't need to jump all over the place. And we're constantly building the team out so we can get stronger and stronger with supporting our community here. So I appreciate all of you guys who continue to tune in. Make sure, again, you're hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, hit that share button. If you haven't gotten over to YouTube yet, I need you to make sure that you come over to our YouTube channel and share that out there and subscribe there. We're almost at 16,000 subscribers. I believe we have like 15,300 and something. So kudos to each and every one of you guys, because you guys are continuing to help this channel grow. I can't do it without you all. So thank you all once again for making that happen for me here. So we're about to dive into it today as we talk about our building wealth through property, as I do believe that is one of the most important things that we do out here. Now, before we get started, I want to ask you guys a question. Put a 1 in the chat if it is you. Put a 2 in the chat if it is not. And once again, it's perfectly fine either way. But how many of you guys currently own your home? Okay. And when I say own your home, how many of y'all are paying a mortgage and not renting? If you are paying a mortgage, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. If you are renting a place right now, I want you to put a 2 in the chat. And again, there is no right or wrong answer. I don't want y'all stressing yourselves out about what people say on the internet. Like, oh, if you ain't renting, you blah, blah. If y'all use my strategy today, I don't really care if you're renting or if you own a home. You just got to listen to what I'm telling you and get your feelings out of the way, okay? So I see that we got a few 1s in here, okay? We got a couple property owners. We got a couple people that are renting. That's cool. More property owners than renters. I like that. I like that. What if it's paid off? That's cool too. We like paid off property. That is perfectly fine. Actually, that's better. It's yours. That's what most people don't understand. That's why I always laugh when we talk mortgage and owning your property. Like, if you paying that mortgage, you don't own your property. That bank owns your property. You just renting it from the bank, because if you default, guess what? They coming to get that property and they ain't giving you none of your money back that you paid towards it. So you don't really own the house, contrary to most people's belief. But anyways, that's here for another day. I ain't going to really dive into that. Now, before I get any deeper into what I'm about to teach you guys today, I want to give a disclaimer. I'm not a real estate agent. I didn't go to whatever to get real estate investment training, so I'm not a specialist in investment training. I'm not a CPA. I'm not licensed or any of that. So that's a disclaimer. Now, what am I? I'm a citizen of the United States of America that have used these techniques and made millions of dollars because I just make dollars to cents. I don't need to get licensed for what I'm talking about. See, the licensed people use and tell some of these techniques, but they're charging for this stuff. And usually they've only learned the way that they've been taught in school, or that they've been taught in order to get that certification. So I put that up front because I may have some of you guys watching and viewing, and I may use some words that, you guys don't like, or I may use a strategy or a technique that you turn your nose up. I don't care. I'm trying to tell you, I don't give a damn what nobody got to talk about. What I am going to share with you is things that I actually do. They have worked for me, And it's just simple mathematics. I'm telling you guys now, all of you guys can be a millionaire if you would just start using dollars to cents. If you can add, subtract, multiply, and divide, you can be a millionaire today. Because it's really that simple. It's not until you get out here in the community that they put all these words around things and it starts to confuse us. So I'm going to tear all of that down tonight. And I wanted to give that disclaimer up front because, again, somebody may be saying, hey, he's not no professional in this. I already told you I wasn't. But what I do know is my money let me know that I'm good to go. I don't really care about professional or not. If it works, if the dollars make sense, I don't need anybody to write off or give me a degree or certification to say that I know what I'm talking about. The money knows what it's talking about. So hopefully we got that out of the way. And now we're about to dive in here. Now, I want to ask you guys in the chat, if you have a property, what are some ways that you can think of right now that you could generate revenue off of your property? Now, I'll throw one out there to give you guys an example for your mind to start racing. Airbnb. That's what everybody knows about, right? You got a property, you can Airbnb that thing out. So what are some other options out there that you guys know on the top of your head right now of ways that your property can generate revenue for you? All right. I have to stress it that way. How can your property generate revenue? Okay. We got rooming house. Matter of fact, let me write this stuff out. We got to switch screens real quick. Let me do this. Source is blank. We're going to come here. All right. So, we got some good stuff. We got, all right, of course, the Airbnb model that we all know. Let me move this here real quick. Airbnb, we all know about that. Appreciate you for sharing that one with us. What else did we get? A multifamily. I like that one. All right. If I was to redo everything over again today and, I was going out there to buy property, honestly, I would look for the multi-units as you're explaining right there. And I would try to keep it, I would keep it under 4 units. So I could take advantage of the FHA and I would live in 1 unit and rent out the other 3. And what should happen is 2 units should pay for the mortgage. 1 unit should put some money back in your pocket. And you ain't going to use that money. Like, don't go eat that money up or whatnot. We're going to put that money back into a high yield savings account or something of that nature for incidentals. Because incidentals are going to happen. You know that right now. Just like my damn roof going out. So we're going to prepare ourselves so when disaster strikes, because I'm telling you it's going to strike, you don't break yourself, right? Basement rentals. Okay, I like that. And we're going to be actually touching a little bit on something of that. Renting rooms, absolutely. That's one way that I love it. Renting rooms. What else do we got here? Renting yard space for events. Now that's creative right there. You got yourself some yard space. You can rent out that yard space. This is a key one. In-home business. I mean, guys, I want you guys to understand this. My business is operating out of my house right now. Now, when you guys do this, you guys have to separate yourself. You as a W-2 person, okay, when you start your business is your business with an EIN number. You as this human being is separate from the business. You got a W-2 number, which is social security number, okay? They're not the same. Although this person on paper controls this business on paper, we can't commingle. So that brings on funds. Now, I say that because we're talking about this home-based business. You need to charge your business rent for working out of your home. I didn't say that you need to charge your business $2,500 for rent. You could charge your business $50, $100, $500, or $10,000. It's up to you. It's your house. It's your rental fee. You know what I'm saying? But you need to cut a check to your business for the rent. And now you can start to see how you moving money around like that. And it's all legit. Leasing, great way. Home restaurant. Oh, I like this one, Brandon. Home restaurant. Man, people are paying crazy money for food right now. And I mean, I was looking on Uber Eats and whatnot the other day, and I believe people are running Uber Eats out of their house. I see too many chicken spots pop up, and I ain't seen a bunch of new chicken real estate. When I punched the address in, it looked like it came right on up to somebody's house. And renting garage space. So you guys have a bunch of ideas in your mind. I see somebody else say Section 8 on Instagram. They said rehab facility. Guys, all of these things that you guys are saying, these are all what I call legit. Like, they're all legit ways of making money. Now, let me show you guys something here so you can understand what I'm telling you. Now, right here, this is my mortgage, okay? Now, right now, it's at a 7.375% rate because I did something stupid when I bought the house. Now, I could pay this whole house off right now if I want to, but I don't want to turn all $300 and some $1,000 into my property when I can make more than 7%. So I can make about 18 to 20, sometime I hit 24% return on my money. So if I was to pay $300,000 for this house, because it's charging me 7.3%, that would take $300,000 off of the books that I'm making 28% on. So instead, I'd rather to keep the $300,000 on the books that's making 28%. Then at the end of the year, I'll just take 8% off, right? So now I'm only making 20% return on my money, but it's more than the 7.35% of what the mortgage is charging me. So I tell you guys that now because we're about to break down some simple math right here. So I'm just, don't harp on the numbers. You need to figure out your own situation and your own numbers for this logic to make sense for you guys today here. But let's say you got a 300K house. Okay. Now I'm just making the numbers up. So you got a 300K house. That's going to cost you somewhere at a 7.3% interest rate. It's going to cost you about $3,000. Okay. So that's $3,000 a month. Let me tell you guys, I've had 3 properties and I've never paid a mortgage in my property, not one time. The only money that I paid for the property is the money that I put down to get the property. Outside of that, never, ever in my life have I paid a mortgage. Now, check this out. For the $300K that I owe on the property, okay, I bought the property at $410. Okay, so that means that $110,000 have been sunk into the property in the last 10 years. And I want you guys to stay with me. So if I spend $100,000 in the last 10 years and I still owe $100,000, that means in 3 years, in another 30 years, okay, I will have paid $400 and some $1,000, $450,000, and I'm still gonna owe money. So what I'm trying to show you guys is that if you continue the path of what they tell you that the real estate is an asset, it's actually not. You're actually going to be burning up money and you're going to spend enough money for you to buy 3 houses, but you only got 1. And that's if you don't turn your property into an asset. So if you're just waking up in your property, you go to work, you come home, you pay the mortgage, the property makes no money. I want you guys to understand that. Instead, the property is burning 7% of your money every year, and it has absolutely no return to it. Unless you sell it or you refi out, which is things that I don't even want to get into. Or you use the techniques and strategies that I'm about to show you guys today. Now that I know that I got $100K into the property, well, when I look at Zillow said, hey, your property is worth $525K. Okay? Now, I don't like to put in my mind, especially if I'm paying the mortgage this whole time, that, see, some people would say, okay, well, you got $300K owed on it. You could sell it for $525. So that means you got $225,000 worth of equity. Well, if I paid $110,000 over the last 10 years, I ain't got no damn $225,000 equity because I've come out of my pocket. Now, the way that I do it, I actually do have $225,000 of equity because I've never, ever come out of my pocket to pay for this mortgage. Okay. So it is true. It is a true $225K of equity. So now it starts to make sense. But how did I get myself in this situation? Well, I said $3,000. That's how much it's going to cost me for this property. Now, they put all types of names. They call it residential property, commercial property, home ownership, rental units. Guys, I don't care. Let me ask you this. If I gave you a space in a city and I said, hey, this space has working utilities, you got an option that you can cook and live in this property, or you could just take this property and utilize it as a business, however you want. But I'm giving you this property. Like, if you had a 3,000 square foot property, couldn't you make money with it? But see, you could make money with it because I told you I gave you a property. And your mind would shift and say, oh man, I have a property that was given to me. I'm about to trick it out and generate some revenue for myself. But see, what happens is when somebody says, I gave you a home, your mind shifts. And you start thinking about what your elders have taught you over time. You start thinking about what the school system has taught you over time, what society has taught you over time when you use the word called home. See, to me, what's the difference between the wood in my house and the wood for that event center down in Washington, D.C.? It's all wood. There's absolutely no difference. It all needed a ceiling. It all needed working and central AC and heating. It all needed windows and doors. It's all the same thing. It was society and the system that tried to separate it for me. But I want y'all to bring it back together and say, hey, it's just a property. Now, since I quote unquote have ownership of it because I'm renting it from the bank and my name's on it, I can pimp it however I see fit. The issue is, are you going to turn around and ask your friend about what I'm going to tell you today? Chances are they're going to tell you about strangers walking in your house and how you need to be scared about people walking in your house because they could come rob you and take everything from you. You probably are going to go talk to your aunt and uncle about what I'm saying, and they're going to give you some old folk tales about, you need to sage the house because spirits came through your door. Well, you had bad spirits in your own house. I'm telling you guys all of this because all of those old folk tales that they used to tell us, guess what it does? It keeps us in debt. We got to change the concept and say, well, wait a minute. For $3,000 a month, what can I do? Well, you guys gave me a whole list. Let's take a look at this thing. Y'all said roommates. Well, here was one of the places that I found my first set of roommates on. And let me see if I still got this whole thing up here. Let me see. And people be like, Travis, your address online. Look, if you believe that you want to come to my house and do anything to me, good luck. That's all I want to tell you. See, here's just common sense stuff, guys. Yeah, your address is public. My address is public with government contracting. So what am I about to be scared of? I can find any one of y'all addresses right now if I want to. You give me your name and give me about 10 minutes and I can pull up all of your information. I'm a hacker. I can get anything out of everything that I want and please at any time. So I'm not scared of my address being online. See, that's what the broke people try to do. They try to scare you out of making money for yourself. Instead, we understand this is public information. And I think all houses should have security cameras on it. I think that everybody should have registered firearms to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? And may God be with anybody that comes in and tries to do anything to you. That's why we in America. We get to protect ourselves in situations like that. So my house is Fort Knox. Good luck coming up in here. But what you're not going to do is stop me from making this money. So let's take a look. For $3,000 a month. Now, back before, I wish y'all could see this. I signed a stupid mortgage, okay? I did this ARM mortgage with a balloon, so my rate changed in 10 years, and it just so happened 10 years is right now. I was paying $2,200 a month, so it made a little bit more sense. But now it jumped up to $3,000. That's a whole nother conversation. But whatever. So right here, I put rent $1,250 per month. Now let me ask you a question in the chat. Put a me in the chat if you would like to be a person that owns multiple units, like multifamily properties. Would you like to have multiple doors that generate you revenue month over month? Like, put a me, if that's you. Now, I was listening to a YouTube channel one day, Grant Cardone in particular, and he kept talking about doors. And guys, in the beginning, like, I was nervous to jump out there. And I'm not going to lie, like, I'm not a master of this whole credit thing. Like, I don't know a damn thing about credit. I know I got money and I be working this stuff out, man. I got enough money flowing through government contract. I ain't never needed to worry about this credit thing. So they started talking about it. And I've always thought about putting my money out there to obtain things and make it happen and work. So as I started looking at these multi-family properties, like here in DC, we're looking at 1.8 million, 2 million, 4 million. I'm like, dang, I ain't got no cheese like that. How am I going to do that? I go to sleep and I wake up one day and I go, well, Travis. And people can ask you this, man. Look, my riders, you know what I'm saying? Because when I tell you guys this strategy, people are going to be like, oh my God, like, I ain't talking to no man with roommates and blah, blah, blah. Trust me. Like, if you got a real one with you, they ain't worried about how you generating this revenue. As long as you ain't doing nothing crazy, they cool with it. So this is what I did. I said, Travis, I want doors. I moved my entire, I was living in this house by myself. My house is 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, 3 stories. I go, well, Travis, you live in the house by yourself. Why don't you put a door on your basement, close it off, because there's a full bathroom down here in the basement. And why don't you live in your basement and rent out the doors upstairs? That was 1, 2, 3 doors upstairs. All I did was I said, well, Travis, you do need doors. How do you create doors? What is the difference between what Grant Cardone is saying doors and what you got in your house? Well, what if I put a padlock on it? What if I got a lock? Because that's essentially what separates units is you got a key to your unit and they got a key to their unit, but they all in the same building. So I looked at my house and I said, well, wait a minute, I got a multifamily situation sitting right here. The thing is, I listened to the community, to society tell me that I got a home. No. I have a building that got units already in it. So by me changing out the doorknobs, as you guys can see right here, I was able to charge $1,250 per month. This was for the master bedroom. I did a $250 security deposit. The stay length was for 3 to 36 months. We had no couples. I'm saying we ain't about to have two of y'all up in this thing. And then what else did I have in here? Let me see. A $30 processing fee for the background check. But guys, this was just one room. I told you I got 3 rooms. So what I ended up doing was $1,250 was for the master bedroom and $850 was for the other 2 rooms. So let's start doing some math right here. So if I do $1,250 plus $850 plus $850, that's $2,950. Now, if I knew my mortgage was going to jump up for $3,000, I just put a couple extra dollars on it because I could have rented the rooms out for $1,200 each. And I could move this one up to probably $1,400, $1,500 easily. It got its own bathroom and everything in it. And just like that, I was living in my basement. And guys, I did this for like 2-3 years. Had a girl and everything. Like, you better be okay with it. I don't give a damn what you think about me. I don't care what you about to say. Like, oh man, you a 30-some-year-old person with roommates. Well, guess what? You a 40-year-old in debt. I don't have no debt. Because I stopped listening to people. So look, I had that running for like 3 years just to see how it was operating. But before that, I seen somebody say utilities. You're right. What about utilities? See, there's another thing that we got to keep out of our mind too. Everything ain't your big payday. I just showed you how to get $3,000 out of a property that you wasn't getting no money out of the property. And now you want to try to cover utilities and everything. You should be able to cover utilities. But let's say you come up $100 short. Does that mean destroy the whole thing? Or does that mean that you're only paying $100 a month to live in a house and operate in a house, put a roof over your head? It only costs you $100 a month to pay the utilities and you don't want to execute it through because it's still going to cost you $100 in utilities? Instead of $3,000 plus the extra $300 in utilities? That don't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Dollars to cents, my peoples. You're worried about the extra $100 and you're forgetting about the extra $3,000. That don't make sense. Okay? Let's get back to it. So now, I did that for like 3 years, but before that, let me rewind. First property. I got a foreclosure. Guess what I did? I came here to Zillow. I go to Zillow. Come on, Zillow. And all of you guys can do this. Just look up the property. You can come right here. For sale. And I want to look up. Now, again, I'm really talking to like first-time home buyers and I'm talking to people with no kids. I want to make a disclaimer. The stuff that I'm talking about right now is first-time home buyers and people with no kids. Okay? Because if you got kids, I ain't even going to say that my methods is the way to go because you got to think about them babies first. Okay? But foreclosures, that's what I look for. Now, again, I don't care about anybody's feelings, man. I found a house on a foreclosure that the minute that I got into it, I already had $100,000 worth of equity in it. I lived inside of that house and I patched it up for like 3 years. I stayed in there and I patched little things up as I go. I had a draft coming through the house. This how this house was. It was a fireplace in it and something was up in the fireplace that was going to cost me $5,000. I just graduated college. I ain't had $5,000. Okay. I had to put $5,000 into the heating unit because the heating unit was broke and I had to get that repaired. So I ain't have another $5,000 for this chimney that was messed up. So in the wintertime, this draft would come through this bad boy and just freeze the whole house. So I ended up taping it off with plastic bags. I can ask any of the people that, was around me at the time. I have no cap in my rap. I don't care. But what I realized was I joined Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Washington, D.C. is the place that everybody wanted to be. So when I came back home, all the Kappas that graduated, I said, don't y'all want to live with me? I think at one time I had 4 of my Kappa brothers living in the house. And at the time, I still didn't know what I was doing. I just always had roommates in college, so I just bought it back here and said, hey, let's keep the party going. That's how I seen it. I wasn't paying anything for the property at the time. And the sad thing was I was taking the extra money and I was spending it in that park. I mean, I was popping bottles. I was taking vacay because it was just extra money to me. I didn't know at the time what I was doing. But that was how I hustled that. I've always had roommates. So you can come here on Zillow and you can look for foreclosed properties and go move in it and start renting that bad boy out, rent them rooms out. And now you ain't got to worry about seeing a price tag of $497,000 because you got a plan. Like, I'm coming in to pimp this thing. I ain't coming in for the mortgage just to take money from me, right? Now, what's the other thing that you guys could do? You could come here in the same place and just put in for rent. Now you can get an idea of what the rental rate is. Now, again, this is going to be rental rates for a whole house. But guess what? You just knock a couple $100 off and that could be for that room. This is how easy this stuff is. So if you got 3 bedrooms, one master bedroom could be at $1,500 and again, the other 2 could be at $1,000. And you just got yourself $3,500 right there every month pumping. Now that's a strategy. That's one of the strategies that got me to where I am today. But once I found out this other strategy, I kicked everybody out of my house. Again, I'm not lying to you. That's why I ain't got no roommates no more now. Actually, I got tired of the whole roommate thing, man. Again, it's a sacrifice. But man, they wore me out. Okay? It was an experience, because it's technically still your home. So you're watching and monitoring things that's going on. So it does get nerve-wracking sometimes. But it's a sacrifice. I knew I wasn't going to do this forever. But when I found this next strategy, I kicked out every roommate that I had. I kicked out. People was like, yo, you can't kick your roommates out. I'll be damned. They was like, yo, that's against the law. How you kicking your roommate? Well, let them go to the law. But they got the 30-day notice that at the end of next month, everybody got to get out. And this is why. I found this new app, new to some, called Peerspace. Peerspace was making me way more money than what a roommate could do. You know what I'm saying? So what I ended up doing, guys, is taking Peerspace and renting out floors. Now, here's the kicker. I still kept a roommate, okay? They stayed upstairs for a little while. But then my floors, I changed my basement. And, we're in an era that everybody wants to make content. So I changed my basement, which is my home office anyways. I changed it into a damn studio. I got camera equipment all over the place. I redid my walls. I got green screens. You can come over here, take pictures. I can record your podcast. I can do all types of stuff right here. And here's the kicker. I needed to do it for myself anyways. I'm streaming live with you guys. I plan to do all of this stuff anyways. So see, where it would cost me $10,000 per camera and I would have all these expenses, I realized, no. This is just an investment. I got to put the money up front now. And in return, I'm about to Peerspace this thing. Guys, one day I had 3 events going on in one house. Every single floor was rented. I had a music video being shot upstairs in my bedrooms. That was a wild time, man. Def Jam came through here and shot a music video. They had Ferraris and Lamborghinis outside my house. Now I'm in the townhome community. It was wild. Okay. I still need to see if I can find that music video. On the second floor, I had another music video going on. This was some rappers. Man, my whole house was smoked out. They had lasers in the house, and I ain't talking about no regular lasers. This looked like a real rap video. I'm looking on my video cameras because I got cameras everywhere, and I'm like, oh my God, Travis, what did you just get yourself into? And then in the basement, I had a party going on out here. It was like birthday or something going on. That one day, I made $5,800 in just one day. We're renting out all of the rooms, and I just brought a cleaning company through to come clean the house. That easy, because I can separate everything now. And now I could put all types of the different things that I could charge them. What I realize is, wait a minute, if you come here to do an event, right? Let me see if I can pull this up. It's going to pull up. No. How can I get to my space? Come on. All right, it ain't going to let me see my space. So I've changed this thing out like 5 times and come up with different things because at first I didn't have it all. Like, I didn't make the investment to turn it into a good looking studio, and I was still making plenty of money without it looking good. It was just a regular plain Jane house. But now that we've tricked it out a little bit more, I've made a whole new profile, and we've come in, and this is recently that we just redid all of this stuff to make it look right. But if you could see inside of here, what I realized is people would come do an event and they don't have the cameras. So like, you can rent my camera, or you can rent me to do the recording. Then you can rent me to do the recording and do the content. Then once you get in the house, guys, now here's the kicker. This is how I was able to generate so much revenue. They would get in the house and they would see all this equipment around here. And while they're doing their thing, I'm letting them know, hey, I know how to manage your social media. I know how to build your websites and drive traffic to it. I know how to run ads. And they would just sit here and, like, man, you could do all of that? Yep. Do you want to pay for it? And just like that, I'm getting more money out of it. I would stock the refrigerator with all of the drinks and food that they need. It'll all be covered in the price. Well, when you start to get here and you see that the refrigerator's stocked and you need X, Y, and Z, you're going to need more. All I was doing is providing stuff that was going to force you to need more things from me. And guess what? I already had it. You know what I'm saying? That is how I was able to turn the revenue 10 times more than what having a roommate could do. And I didn't have to worry about people staying in my house for 30 days. 60 days, 90 days, a whole year. So that's why I love this method right here. But Peerspace ain't the only one. They got this event. What is this? Eventive. You can utilize that one. But what you guys want to do is just come to your Peerspace. Okay. Put your address in. Hit search. And guys, I'm a cheater at everything that I do. That's what I really cheat at everything that I do. I don't know how many times I can stretch this out. All I'm going to do is put what I'm trying to do, and then I look. Well, let me see who got the most stars. And I'm going to compile a list of properties with the most stars. And then guess what? It tells me exactly how I need to post my space. Now, this one ain't good, but I know I'm charging $120 an hour. Okay, I can see what type of pictures, and I can see how to write it up. Now, they suck. I'm not going to lie. Like, this is awful. But the moral of the story is, you can get the answers of how you need to post your property. Don't you just put your damn property up here and say, well, Travis told me to put the payroll to space. And I put the properties because it told me to put some pictures, and I just took some random pictures and put them right here. And I just randomly typed out the explanation of the event space. Well, that's stupid. Travis ain't never told you to do a damn thing like that. Travis told you to cheat. So you're going to come back over here and you're going to find the spaces that are already excelling around you, and you're going to be comparable of what they do. And the upsells come in all of the different verticals that you're going to provide to them. Another one that I used, and I really, really like this one when it comes to roommates. It's this site called Furnish Finder. Where is it at? Did I mess it up? There it is. Furnish Finder. So this is my property here. I actually turned this off. Mainly this is going to be for nursing people and like military. But I mean, they're just going to pump you leads all day long. Trying to see. So I turned this off a little while ago. Yeah, I can't even figure out where it is. All right, let me see here. Oh, dang, it ain't got my stuff up here no more. I guess I've been off that long. All right, but you can set your stuff up here. Now, the beauty that I like about this one, these are nurses. They got a lot of money, okay? They are prepared to pay a high rental fee, and they ain't staying for too long. You know what I'm saying? 30, 60 days, they in and out. Now, I also want to make a note. Guys, this stuff usually works if you're near a city. If you all the way out in the suburbs or you in the country, like, forget everything that I told you, because I don't think none of this stuff will work. Okay? You got to figure out another method. But for sure, if you're around the city, you can utilize these strategies right here. So those are some ways that you guys can go about using this. Again, Roomies is a place that you could go find some roommates, as well as Furnish Finders, Peerspace, okay, and Eventive. I've never used this one before. I just used Peerspace, honestly, but I just looked at. They got a whole bunch of different apps out here now, so I know it's things that are comparable to those, right? Oh, and another thing that I did in my house is I put a gym in it. You know what I'm saying? So you can actually go, there's an amazing app that they built, which, like, man, there's an app called Town Square and Nextdoor. Do y'all realize this puts you in front of all your neighbors? I mean, come on, man. Y'all talk about food and stuff. Like, you could build your business out of your house right now and, like, just serve your community. You don't need the world to buy your stuff. You probably only need like 15, 20 consistent clients to make yourself a 6-figure earner easily. Utilize this stuff, all right? So those are the apps. And, of course, Zillow, so you can get a better understanding of that property and how much you guys can start charging there. Now, the other thing that we could think about the property before we get out of here is to really understand this cost, okay? You guys really, really got to understand this whole cost of a property, especially at times that we're in right now. Now, before I dive into the cost of property, because I know we still had people that was renting. If you are renting a property right now, I need you to change where you're living, and you need to move into a building that has event space. Oh my goodness. And then your ass need to throw an event in that building once a month. If not 2 times a month. This could be a workshop. This could be a networking mixer. It don't cost you no money for the event space. It baffles me that I go in these apartment buildings and all these people are just living in there and they have the most fanciest event space and they're not even utilizing the damn thing. If you don't pimp that apartment building and put some money in your pocket. So yeah, if you're living in just a regular basic apartment building right now, I need you to go find an apartment building that got the event space, because it may only cost you a couple extra $100 a month, like one extra $100, but it's going to give you the event space that you could charge people $1,000 for a workshop, $500 for a workshop. You could do a monthly networking mixer that you're charging people $50, $100 for. I mean, the sky's the limit, but damn it, them workspaces that they got in these apartments are amazing. I know, because I rent them out all the time to hold my events at. So that's for my people that are renting. Now, about this property thing again. Homeownership. The only thing that you guys should be worried about, down payment. That's it. Because that's your cost right there. How much do you got to put down on the property? The government got a bunch of programs going on that you don't even have to put anything down. So you guys should find out about those first-time home buyer programs and see what they got going on, because that's going to be your only cost, because we're going to pimp this thing after that. Now, we're not just going to get a property that we don't have equity in the minute that we buy. So that means that we need to do our due diligence. We want a property that the minute that we purchase, we have some type of equity in it. Because worst case scenario, if shit hits the fan, at least I got some equity in it that I could pull out later on if need be. But the goal ain't to pull no money out of this property. Not for right now. Okay? Now, the other goal with this property, when done correctly, it's not costing you no money. Okay? So if you have to pay, oh man, Instagram shut down on me. It's all good. If you have to pay for this property, then what you're going to end up doing is saying, okay, well, the property is costing $3,000 a month. Okay? If I can get $3,000 a month in my rentals for whatever you do, I don't know what it is that you're going to do. However you want to pimp it, roommates, whatever's going on. The $3,000 needs to go straight to the mortgage. Now, here goes the kicker. You already knew that you were going to pay $3,000 a month for that property. So guess what's going towards the mortgage? $6,000. You're going to pay that home off in 10 years, if not less, because you're going to get extremely aggressive. And you're going to utilize the house that's making its money to pay its own bill. And whatever extra that you could put on it, if it ain't a full $3,000, if it's $1,500, I don't care. You need to put something extra on it, because what's going to end up happening, most of you guys aren't good investors. So what you're doing is you're taking your money and you're saving yourself 7%. Because you're getting aggressive with it. So when you pay that house off in the next 5 to 10 years, you put hopefully no money, but let's say you had to put $10K down. You put $10K down, and 5 years later, okay, let's say you put $2,000 down every month. So we're going to say 2,000 times, we'll do 8 or 12. Let me do 12 times 8 years. You're going to put, let's do plus 10,000. You're going to spend the total of 202,000 of your money. Okay? The house is going to be completely paid off. The total that you put of your money down was 202,000. Now, out of return for that 202,000, you're going to have a property worth $525K. You've doubled your money if you guys haven't noticed what I just did. Now you got some real wealth that we talking about right here. Because what you got is over 200K in true equity. You need to go refinance and get that 200K out. Now we're living off loan money. And when I live off loan money, I pay no taxes. And now we creating wealth. I don't know how to do it any other way, man. Well, I do know how to do it other ways, but those ways are too risky. One slip up, one injury, one death, which we all know that somebody's gonna die. One thing can just mess up all types of stuff when you over leverage. When you listen to all these people talk about just use credit, just go out and get loans for X, Y, and Z. I'm telling you, if you ain't got no way to cash flow, one slip up in your life can just mess everything up. The method that I showed you right here, I told you, first of all, get something that you can afford naturally, and then I showed you how to pimp it. Whether a slip up comes or not, we could still cover everything that's going on here. But we're going to be extremely aggressive with getting ourselves out of a shitty situation that they've taught us to be in. When they told us, go buy a home. We ain't listening to those fools no more. We're going to come up with a game plan, and we're going to capitalize. All right. Hopefully you guys picked up something that I put down today. Put a fire emoji in the chat if you guys understood anything that I explained to you today, as well as if this information was helpful to you. Go ahead and drop that fire emoji. Once again, this is the only way that I really understand that you guys picked up anything that I put down for you guys today. Also, if you got any questions about anything that I went over, feel free to drop those in the chat here right now as I start to shift back through this and see if I have any questions that may have come in that I did not see here. I am mad that my Instagram stopped. So Instagram is cutting people off in 1 hour for show. So I got to figure out how to do it in 1 hour. All right, let's see where we at. Those truck drivers better tune in because those truck drivers better tune in because these shippers pulling freight and putting them on trains. Hey, that truck driving life trill, man. You know, that's a whole nother thing. Guys, the same way that I'm telling y'all to pimp a house, y'all should be pimping things like trucks and all that stuff too. The only difference is instead of you buying the truck, right? Use somebody else's truck. Look, man, people got all this stuff out here that they done purchase and they don't know how to make money off of it. So go make them some money and then you just take some dollars off the top until you get enough money and you got the resources and network to prove that, okay, I should make this large investment. But I don't know why people make them large investments. I may be able to answer some questions regarding your roof if need. Oh, for sure. Hey, I'm always with all that. You know what I'm saying? That whole roof thing is, whew. All right. Let me see. Can I do that with an apartment I rent? Only thing you can't do with the apartment, guys, is like probably you can't Airbnb, right? And don't be loud. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to tell the whole goddamn world and tell your neighbors in the rental office that you trying to pimp a business out. Like just do it until they tell you to stop. What are they going to slap you on the wrist? Worst case scenario, what do? Kick you out of the apartment? It's a rental property. Like go rent somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Again, I made a disclaimer. If you got kids, all right, maybe you should calm it down a little bit because we got to protect the babies first. All right. This is for people without kids, no responsibilities, but getting this money. I'm showing y'all how to get to this money. All right. Oh, extra driveway space. Yes, Robert. I do like that. Like we're in the neighborhood right now that we ain't got a lot of parking space. I can rent out my driveway, for people to park, or else they're going to get towed. Or one of the two. So why wouldn't you just pay me for my driveway to rent? Get tax benefits. Yes. A lot of this stuff too. You can, again, tax situations do play a tremendous piece on this thing. I just don't really like to dive too far in taxes. One, because I'm not a specialist when it comes to taxes. And that's one thing I really, truly don't talk about. I may mention some things on it. But I'm always going, now that's something I will always advise you need to go to a specialist to talk about. But the tax thing is great, but I want to make sure you can cash flow, and then we'll figure that tax out on the back end. It's a liability until you sell it. Yeah, that's that house. It's a liability until you sell it. All right, Travis, when you get a chance, brother, you doing a Q&A at the end? Yeah, this the Q&A right here. All right. Why avoid debt? It's not that I'm avoiding debt. Okay. There is good debt. There is bad debt. But majority of the world has bad debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's my thing. I don't believe that you should have debt until you got the money to back the debt. Now, follow me. The broke person tells you to just go take out loans and over leverage. Again, if something happens to you, you can't afford the debt that you took out. So you can have 15 properties and you got $10 million worth of loans out there, and the properties are running and operating and you could cover all the bills, but the pandemic comes. And all of a sudden the renters ain't paying rent no more. Well, the banks still want their money and you over leverage. You have absolutely not one penny to pay them because the mortgage for all of that stuff is $50,000. Your little $2,000 that you got ain't going to cover it. So now all of a sudden you're about to get a bad tarnish on your name. You can't sell it at the high value because you're now what we call a motivated seller. You got to get the hell up out of here. You in trouble because you over leveraged. So now you're about to find yourself in a situation that it looked good 3-4 years ago. But now, since you didn't budget properly and, you just kept over leveraging over and over again, like those are all those stories that you hear about people like, man, I was all the way up here and then I came all the way down here. Yeah, because they over leveraged. So you can choose the option of over leveraging and getting yourself into debt and figuring your way out. Some people can do it. But I'm telling you from statistics, without no emotions, majority of people cannot handle that. So my method is to teach you guys how to get out of all the debt that you've already created. You already got the house. You already got the car and stuff. I didn't tell you to go get something that you ain't already got. I'm now trying to teach you how to get that debt from over your head, because once you learn how to do this method, then you can go get good debt. As I showed you, once we can do this thing, we're going to refi our equity out of that. Now we got good debt. But before that, nah, I'm not. Maybe you could go to somebody else to teach y'all that, but I'm not about to teach y'all that. I'll be damned not over here. You know what I'm saying? Do you have any sites for tables and chair rentals? Yes, great thing, Robert. I'm glad you asked me that question right there. So what I advise you guys to do, look for table and chair rentals in your local area, and you're going to partner with them. And what'll end up happening, tell them what you're trying to do here and that you want to be an exclusive partner. Let's say they rent chairs out for $15 a chair. I'm just making numbers up. Let's say they rent the chairs out or the table $15 a table. You can get it at $12 a table. And you should put all of that stuff on your profile for like incentives that, hey, now, I don't want to say incentives, but extra checkout items like, hey, I know y'all don't want to deal with tables and chairs. Let us deal with it. Like, just check it all out right here. But the other key to all of this stuff, those sites that I showed you, you should have your own website and your own booking page, because eventually you want to get rid of these third-party programs. Once you learn the game and you know what you're doing, you can get rid of those third-party programs and create your own platform, and now you ain't got to pay the middleman for taking some of your money. Question, with your home pay down method, are you saying that whatever money the house is making that goes to the mortgage, you're also putting money in as well? That is exactly what I'm saying. Because you was already going to spend $3,000 for your mortgage without the property making money or not. That $3,000 was coming out of your pocket. Okay? So what I'm telling you is we now have $6,000. because the property made $3,000. Since you don't have nothing else to do with this $3,000, I'm letting people know right now. If you don't move that $3,000, you're going to eat that $3,000. And if you don't eat that $3,000, you're going to tell yourself you deserve a vacation with that $3,000. If you don't take yourself on a vacation with that $3,000, you're going to say that you deserve that new car. You're going to find a way to spend the money. So I'm telling you, hey, hurry up and spend the money back into their property, because I know what people are going to do. Now, if you got good discipline, like myself, which, this took about 8 years for me to get here, right? I didn't know this stuff overnight. I was doing ignorant things with my money, as I explained to y'all earlier in the beginning. So instead, now that I know what I know now today, I would not put the $3,000 extra in the property, because I can take the $3,000 and earn more than 7%. But if you don't know how to earn more than what the interest rate is, you need to put the money in the property, because you're saving yourself 7%, whatever the interest rate is. But by all means, if you know how to invest properly, you're not an emotional investor that makes stupid decisions, then by all means, don't put the extra money into the property. Just let the property pay for itself, and you take that extra money and have it go to work. I don't buy anything if I can't make any money off of it. See, that's why, Robert, man, that's why I like you, Robert. That's why we the same, man. I don't buy anything either that I can't make no money off of. Like, it just don't make no sense to me. Again, even the video cameras, all the stuff that y'all seeing right now, all the stuff that I'm playing right here on all of this and doing designs and whatnot, I'm making money off of it, right? I would have never bought $10,000 in cameras if I couldn't figure out how to 10x the revenue. I would have just stayed with the iPhone. But hopefully, again, you guys picked up some valuable information out of the day. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me here. Make sure that you guys are hitting that like button, that subscribe button, that share button, if you guys got any value out of today. Before we get up out of here, don't forget, tomorrow we will be here talking about effective tips to subcontracting. That'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern time zone. Thursday, we will be talking about an effective marketing campaigns, whether it's SMS or email marketing, inside of our small business money flow tool. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that. That will be this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time zone. And next Tuesday, we will be talking about financial health and that money mindset that you're going to need to get to where you want to be. So once again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this out with at least 3 other business owners, entrepreneurs that you know need to elevate themselves and get to where they want to be, and join us here. Don't forget as well, we do have our 30-day live GovCon Business Blueprint Challenge. All right. We're literally going to teach you guys how to build a business that does business with the government, consumers, and B2B, all on one platform. That's going to kick off January the 2nd. Make sure you get yourself registered. Don't wait until January the 2nd, because there's going to be some things coming out soon that you don't want to get behind on. So make sure you go to sbgovconlive.com, get yourself registered. We only got room for 50 people, and I don't know where we're at right now because I haven't looked, but we definitely got quite a few people signed up, so don't be late. And don't forget, once you sign up, you can invite others to the program and earn $100 every time someone uses your link to get registered for the GovCon Business Blueprint Challenge that's going to kick off January the 2nd. I love you all. I hope that you guys enjoyed this segment. I will be back here with each and every one of you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time zone. We will shut this down when the music goes off. I'll talk with you guys later. Oh, and shout outs to my guy, Trey, man. Shout outs to Trey. He got a new song coming for us. He gave me a little sample of it for the Dollars to Cents podcast, and it was pretty dope. If y'all don't know Trey, man, he's the one who made the Pure Money song that we listened to for the intro and outro right here, but he got a special song strictly for the Dollars to Cents podcast, and it was pretty dope. So I'm waiting to get the final copy of that one right there. Make sure y'all show Trey some love as well. I love you all, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Have a great day.
It's just different.
Yeah, you already know what it is. Pure money, baby. I keep a couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. Said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. I said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Come and hang with the gang. Get some free game added to your mainframe. Gotta keep your mind sharp, you gotta maintain. And it's even better when the squad on the same thing. Steady swishing on the competition. We ain't tripping about the opposition. We on a mission and we got a vision. People in need, we believe we got it like I give a couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. Said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. Said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure. I like my money. Been slept on, money never stepped on. We increasing positivity until the stress gone. Satan tried to hold the squad back, but we kept on. We ain't making this up, no Revlon. I ain't trying to make you blush, but this a highlight. We send the high vibes, homie, this a high life. We rising far above the game, that's a flyby. But we still connected to the source, that's that Wi-Fi. Reception, now we answer the call. This squad taking questions and we answer them all. We don't wanna see you fall, we wanna see you ball. We all gon' eat with the peeps, we gon' feed them all. Couple in the bag, homie,